For the past couple of weeks, the only game that I've actually found myself logging onto my PlayStation and playing consistently for hours on end, 7 days a week, is Overwatch, and it's just so much fun, guys. I've spent probably 9 months away from Overwatch since I last played. I've come back on, and the game's just sucked me right back up and straight back in. And I just thought I'd spend today's video talking to you guys about why I think Overwatch is still, 3 years after release, one of the best competitive games on the market, why the game is so much fun, and how every time I come back it manages to captivate me and get me playing all over again consistently. So without further ado, let's talk about it. Unlike most games in today's world, Overwatch doesn't care how many kills a player has, it doesn't care about a player's KD ratio, and it doesn't care about how high a kill streak a player's on. The main focus in Overwatch is to win the game you are playing, and to me, that is a massive, massive factor. You know, in comp and such, you've not got people singly running off to go try and get on high kill streaks or such. You may have players fighting other players to try and build their ultimates up and such, but that's all just another mechanic in which you need to be able to win games, especially in competitive. And you know, this really inspires team communication, it inspires team play and to work around comp and what players are good at and what players aren't good at. And I just think that that adds an entire new layer to Overwatch, you know. So many games are focused on just driving you to go for high kill games and, you know, get kill streaks to obliterate the enemy team with. And Overwatch does really well to keep kind of the same factor but also eliminate so much of a focus on that by making your main priority to be pushing the payload, for instance, or stalling the point at the end of a game so you can contest and still try and win a game even when all odds are against you. Any character or any player can make a play right at the end of a game, in the middle of a game, at any point that can completely throw the game in the other team's favour. And to me, that's just such an exciting feeling that a lot of games don't seem to captivate me with anymore. So for instance, put yourself in a scenario. You're playing competitive and the enemy team are 98-99% on capture the point round. All it takes to reclaim that round in the last dying seconds is a good player on your team that's running, say, a DPS character like Reaper or Pharah who has explosive damage in ult to get into that point via the side or around the corner or above, because a lot of points have a lot of locations you can use to your advantage that only certain characters can actually make use of, and those characters have their ult. Reaper jumps down or Pharaoh jumps in and uses their ult, and if the enemy team isn't fully prepared for that situation, then you can ruin the entire team's comp in less than 3 seconds, and your team can come back in, push that point and reclaim that round just in the last dying seconds of it. And to me, Overwatch is so rewarding for that because it kind of inspires your team to just never give up and fully communicate what you've got on offer at what time, because at the end of the day, if you can make a final push or you can contest the point, you do it, because there is always that chance that you can win that round even when everything just seems against you. But it's not just DPS that can do this. Any character can do this, and this brings me on to my next point. The sheer variety and amount of characters in Overwatch is insane, and that's all part of the fun of playing Overwatch, to be honest, is learning to play every character from DPS to tank to support, and using their abilities and getting good with them, and learning what situations they really provide in, and especially in competitive when that matters the most, and you know you need something on the team, and so you can switch up for that character, and using that character you can bring the game back and flip it into your team's favour. Overwatch even has a system in the game that really complements the sort of game that Overwatch is, and that's the group finder. So you can either set up a group based on certain preferences, or you can find a group based on certain preferences or your preferences for solo play, for instance, and then you can have people join that want to play those roles, such as we typically play 2 support, 2 tanks and 2 flex, which is, you know, as I said, 2 supports like healers, 2 tanks that take loads of damage and deal a fair amount of damage, and 2 flex that can play anything, so they can kind of switch based on the situation that we're in game. And this system is just so good, and it wasn't in the first year of Overwatch, but when they finally added it in, it made competitive play so much better, because rather than having to solo queue if you have no friends or such, you can kind of just hop into a group that needs you and support them and go for wins, and it just makes the competitive play so much better, and it makes lobbying so much better, and it's just really good that this got added into the game. It really complements Overwatch, and I really like this feature, and so do a lot of other players. Another thing that I really love about Overwatch is how much content gets added to the game. For instance, I haven't played the game in, as I said, about 9-10 months. I think it was like competitive season 11 when I last played, and we're just about finishing 16 now. And I've probably played about 5 or 6 new maps, Since I played last, Wrecking Ball's been added as a character, Baptiste's been added as a character, Ash, and I'm sure there's another one, but I can't remember their name right now. But that just goes to show how much support this game has, and it's all free. There are microtransactions in the game, but they're not pushed on you like there's no end to them and that you need them, like in a game like Black Ops 4, for instance, with weapons and microtransactions and such. All the microtransactions in Overwatch are all actually cosmetic, and that's fantastic. And even though all of this content is actually hidden in loot boxes, the loot boxes can actually give you currency that you can save up and buy pretty much anything for any character with. So relate that to a system like Call of Duty 4 Remastered, where you earn duplicate salvage for duplicates you get in supply drops, and then you can use that salvage to unlock stuff in the armory, to unlock, I don't know, any title you wanted or the weapons that they added into the game. You can do this exact same thing in Overwatch. You can save up the currency that you get through the loot boxes, and you can use that to buy voice lines, victory poses, skins. Everything is obtainable without having to spend any money, because you earn loot boxes through playing arcade or quick play or competitive, and you earn them through leveling up as well. So not only does Overwatch not lock you out with pay to win, just pushed into your face all the time, but it really gives you the edge in being able to earn all this stuff. And the final part on that is that it is duplicate free, which is something that every other loot box system completely lacks. Once you get something in Overwatch from a loot box, you're never going to get it again, and that just buffs up even more chances of getting currency, for instance, and just is a really rewarding thing for the player, because you're not consistently being barraged with stuff you already got before and then loitered with stuff that you don't want in the first place. And if you haven't figured it out already, Overwatch is pretty much for the player. You know, they want you to be playing, they want you to be grinding, and they really want to satisfy the community, and a lot of game developers don't do that anymore. It's really sad, to be honest, because this game's been out for 3 years and I can jump back on it as and whenever I want, and I have so much more fun on this game with my team or my friends than I do on games that have come out this year or last year, and etc., which really shouldn't be the case, but props to Blizzard for being able to do that. Overall, in my verdict, if you haven't played Overwatch, then get on there and play it, because Overwatch just complements the player so much. It's got so many different varieties of play styles, it teaches you new ones, the characters really spice up the gameplay, and it's just such a good game, and it never gets old, and if it does, they add new content in to keep you coming back to it. The biggest thing I did in the past couple weeks was get back on Overwatch, and it's really showed me how much fun a first-person shooter can be, and how much it doesn't need to take itself seriously if you're playing quick play, but if you're playing competitive, you definitely need to take the game seriously for obvious reason. So yeah, if you've looked at Overwatch before and you've just seen it and said, nah, I don't really think that's for me, or you haven't played Overwatch in a while, then definitely get back on or give it a try, because there's so much more stuff in the game now than there was 9 months ago, for instance, when I stopped playing it, and coming back, and I'm just having so much fun playing this game again, guys. So yeah, give Overwatch a try. And yeah, guys, that's pretty much going to wrap up today's video. So if you've enjoyed the video, leave a like. I'd love to see 30 likes smashed on this video. You guys smashed my last target at 2025, and it was awesome to see. It keeps inspiring me to make amazing content for you guys, and I love to see that you're enjoying the stuff on the channel. If you're not already subscribed, go over and subscribe to the channel and turn your post notifications on. If you want to follow me on my socials, go over to Twitter and follow me at Zephr Playing, and if you want to follow me on Twitch to see any future live streams I do, go over there and follow me at Zephr Playing. And on a final note, if you want any cool analog stick, thumbsticks, any controller grips, any apparel, go over to fadegrips.store and use my code Zephr20 at the checkout for 20% off. So for now, guys, I've been Scott or Zephr. I hope you've enjoyed the video and had a nice day, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace and love.
Caught you in my eye, I had to flex though. You been on my mind, you got me stressed up. Girl, I'll fuck you better than the next hoe, cause you wanna fucking never let go. Caught you in my eye, I had to flex though. You been on my mind, you got me stressed up. Girl, I'll fuck you better than the next hoe, cause you just wanna fucking